Hello, you guys, and welcome back to another story time right here on this channel. Now, y'all, I've been telling you guys a lot of dating app story times. Like, I feel like just clearing the rest out, taking out the rest of the trash, okay? Because I've been gone for months. But I'm like, sometimes it's just like you could never have enough stories about just dumb people you deal with in general. So I thought of this one online talking. If you're a girl on the internet, especially on TikTok, I feel like every one of us has had a out of state, long distance, talking online stage, okay? I feel like it started with MySpace, and then it's Instagram, and then it's Twitter, and then now it's for sure, you for sure met him on TikTok. Or maybe Instagram, I don't know. And honestly, if you're not new to this channel, you know I've had a lot of long distance, iCarly online talking stages that I've already touched on, but I actually don't think I've ever touched on this one. I think this one can be a very good lesson to any young ladies or young people out there because love bombing is real. It's real as okay, and it's just so annoying and so unnecessary. And I want everybody to be smart and use their time wisely. So I'm gonna tell y'all this story time. So we gonna call the boy in this story Cross. Okay. So I remember if you guys know me, if you come from my TikTok, which some of you guys do, or sometimes some of you guys are OG YouTubers, okay? A lot of times when guys from TikTok would get at me, they would like, like I can't really see everyone who follows me on TikTok because I have like a little bit of followers on there. So a lot of them do the smart thing, right? They follow me on Instagram. My Instagram's normal, and then they DM me on Instagram, and then we start talking. That's how like so many of my talking stages have came about outside of like the dating apps, right? So I remember I had posted this one day, me and my brother's Gravity Falls journal. If you guys watch my Halloween content, you saw how I was dipper for Halloween. And me and my little brother have had like a Gravity Falls journal from like the book fair with all the things in it for hella long. I just posted it and she was just like, oh, cool. Like I hadn't seen it in a while. And I had seen that this guy who we named Cross, right? Was in my request. He followed me and instantly DM'd me, just sliding up on the sword and was like, where did you get that? Okay. And I responded, I followed him back. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I got it from, well, me and my brother got it from like a book fair when we were kids. I don't even know if they still sell them. I think Gravity Falls hasn't been on for probably like at least 8 years now. So he did that little, to try to, when people try to get in without being too, like they just slide up about something, not like a compliment, right? And so then after that, he's all like, I don't know, I think it was just basic talk. Where are you from? Blah, blah. When it got to where are you from? Again, y'all, this is what had me messed up. I be trying to run from the distance because I've had so many online talking stages. I'm like over it. I'm always over it. Okay. And he was like, where are you from? I'm like, where are you from? And if you guys already know me, I'm from Cali. I'm from Southern California. And he was like, I'm from Las Vegas, which is Nevada, which is a different state. Vegas low key doesn't feel like a different state that much. If you're from California, you get it. But it is. Las Vegas is far, but it's not that far. Las Vegas is like a 4 hour drive. Far, but not like, it ain't like he in Texas, right? And so, of course, immediately I'm like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. But as always, if I'm like truly interested, I always be trying to give boys the benefit of the doubt. And I just like talked to him a little bit. I think maybe that night or the next night we hopped on the phone. And so yeah, like we were just talking. Like I was like, oh, what's your TikTok? I followed him on TikTok. I saw like he liked to make content too. He liked to make clothes. Like we had like similar interests, right? But on the phone, I was very real and I was like, you live in Las Vegas. I was like, you live 4 hours away. Like I was like, I'm kind of confused why you even want to talk to me knowing that. And especially like he should know that because if you guys follow me on TikTok, I literally have like Cali in my bio. And this is where the love bombing started, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna preface this by explaining what love bombing is because some people like him, when you see how this all turned out, we're all confused about what that word meant. Okay. Love bombing is when someone puts their best foot forward at the beginning of getting to know you. They are overly complimenting, overly nice, they over promise to all of a sudden under compromise. Okay, so you think it's all great and perfect at the end, and then you find out it was just a mask. Like that's not how they really are. That's what they do. They do all that and they bomb you with psych. It ain't even like that. Okay, so this is where the love bombing started. He talking about, oh, like I go to school and then I also work part-time, and then also how you see I have a clothing business. So he was like, and I like I've driven far, I've gone to school far from home and stuff before. He's like, I really don't mind drives. He's like, for us to like hang out one time, I'll literally just like drive there. He was like, I'll drive there, a 4 hour drive for a first date. And then he's also like, or like if I don't want to drive there, I'll just like fly there. Like I make good money because I work part time and then I have my own business. Like he was just all like making it like not a big deal, right? So it's like, okay, I'm very like aware of love bombing because I've been through it before. But it's kind of just like when you meet someone new, it's like if they are telling you it's how it is, it's like, I don't know, unless they really give you a reason to not believe them, like you just got to fill it out. So I was just like, oh, okay, like I'm just making sure he ain't expecting anything from me. I'm like, okay, like he seemed really about it, and like it's just such not a big deal. And can I just say for the plot, you guys, if anyone has ever been through love bombing, which I feel like almost everyone has at this point, love bombers are just so weird. Because okay, like in my first relationship ever when I was 18, I fell for it hard. Okay, I was like, oh my god, he's so perfect and he means everything he says, right? Because why wouldn't you when you're innocent? But like I said, at this point in my life, this was only a year ago. I was 21 years old. I was like, this is cool, but I was like, some of the stuff still weirded me out because it's just like, why are you so ready and so willing? And I'm like, you don't even know me. You barely know anything about me. I'm like, it's giving lust. It's like, what? Just because I'm pretty? You're like, oh my god, yeah, I'll make that 4 hour drive. Like you say, whatever, whatever. So let me get into like the little instances that started to lead up to the plot of the story. So I think like a week into talking, he was like, we were on the phone. It got to the point where we would FaceTime probably almost every day, just keep each other company, get to know each other. And I remember he got on the phone with me one day, like a week in, and he was like, is it weird? Like, are you weirded out if I told you that, like, I told my parents about us already? Okay, so I'm like, I mean, no, how'd that come up? Yes, I thought it was strange. He's like, oh well, like, cause in the meantime, they were on like a family road trip or something, and he was like, yeah, we were just texting. Like, I was texting you back and forth at the table, and my parents were like, who are you texting? Or like, why did your phone keep going off? And I ended up telling them that it was this girl from that lived in California that I really wanted to see, and I was like planning to fly out to see her, and like I basically like told them everything, and I was just like, okay, like I was like I could understand like how it came up, but I was just like, why didn't tell my parents about you? I really told anyone about you. Like you live in a different state and like you're cool. Like, it's like I feel like I could already catch the love bombing vibes that I was just still trying to fill him out where I was like, he's cool. I'm fucking with him so far, but I was just like, I'm not gonna like get too excited because I'm like, I haven't met you yet. Like we were very much both in the like looking for a relationship, only talking to each other. But I was just like, okay, like, it was like he did all these little things on this family road trip. Like he literally, when he called me, he said he stepped out of the restaurant for a second just to get like a chance to call me. Like he was doing all those things where I was like, like so sweet, so prioritizing from the jump. But I was like, okay, so moving on to maybe week two. He literally made a plan to see me and was like, um, I wanna like, oh, when was it? It was like a month out. He's like, a month out, I'm gonna request this weekend off and I'm gonna like fly out and we can have our first date. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it's just getting used to it. I was like, this isn't the first time a man has said he was gonna fly out to see me. Okay.
Fire, just like this pussy.
But the times before that, it never really happened. So again, I was just like, okay, like this is cool. I like a man who's taking initiative, who's taking a plan. Like I'm like, it's still kind of like because I don't know you that well, but I'm like, okay, I like the excitement. Like I guess this is how I'm going to know you, right? About 2 weeks in, we're just making the plan. We're getting really excited, and I remember he was just like, he was just talking about like the future. He was like, maybe we can see each other like once a month. He's like, I'll visit you like the first 3 times, and then maybe the next time like you can come out here to see me and blah blah blah. It was just like, oh, like, you know, y'all are just like, it's cool, but it's like, I didn't meet you. Like, okay, you know, okay. So why does he start telling me this story about he was like from he lived in Vegas, but he was from Northern California. And mind you, I'm from Southern California. Northern California, where he lived, is like 8 hours away, even farther than a different state. Y'all know California is long. So I remember he was like, yeah, I haven't, like, he was on the same wavelength as me. He was like, hadn't dated anyone for almost a year. And he was like, yeah, well, and every time I go home, like my grandma's always asking me, when am I gonna bring a girl? Like, when am I gonna bring a girl to stay and like hang out and introduce her and stuff? And he was like, honestly, like Alicia, the way this is going, mind you, we're 2 weeks in and we FaceTime almost every day, and that's about it. He's like, how this is going, like, I think that I was wondering, like, I really feel like in summer, like, you should go with me to like visit my grandma. Like, I wanna like make that trip with you.
If I take her home to my granny, yeah.
And again, I'm like, I'm just like cross. That's like a very sweet gesture, but I was like, I haven't met you yet. I don't know how you are. I'm not gonna promise to go anywhere with a guy I haven't met yet. Like, don't you think this is kind of fast to tell someone you don't know? And I remember he would always backtrack, like, I know, like it's just an idea I'm throwing out there. And I would just be like, what is wrong with this guy? So maybe by week 3, this is something that annoyed me about this guy. I feel like he was one of those guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with being very family oriented, still very involved with your family, close with your family. Like, once you're an adult, like, it's healthy, you know? But to an extent, he was someone who lived at home and was like, at 22 years old, my parents still forced me to go to every single one of my little brother's games. And I'm just like, okay, weird. My family wouldn't do that, but weird. Like, it was just like, right? So I remember, obviously, y'all know that like 2 months out, or yeah, 2 months out for a first date is a very long time to wait on someone. And that's what it was looking like. Like, I don't blame him because it was like he lived in a different state. But I remember one time it came up and he was talking about just like his family's plans. It wasn't like it was a premeditated trip or anything. It was just something that came up. That wasn't that important. It wasn't like a birthday, it wasn't nothing, but he was just like, like that. And he was like, actually, I think I'll come out like a month after what we already planned. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know this guy. Like, we're not official yet, but I was just like, I told him, like, I was like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was like, I don't want to wait like 3 months to go on a first date with you. You know, I was like, honestly, I don't know if I'm willing to do that. And it's kind of annoying since you're saying all these things and you're setting all these, like, I'm a big sign, okay? I don't like when like there's plans and then people change those plans. Like, when I'm already set and excited, that's one thing that's gonna me off. So I was kind of just like, okay, like obviously I can't tell you what to do, but like it does bother me, yes. Cause I was like, I don't know if I want to wait around 3 months to go on a first date with someone. Like, I wasn't feeling him like that. And yeah, it was like this guy was, I knew it would never work. I would have ate him alive, y'all. Like, I'm a very dominant personality. I'm a very tell you how it is. And like, I remember he was timid, even how he brought it up. Like, he was just like, are you mad at me? Like, are you mad at me? Does this make me like a bad, like, he was just so timid. And I was just like, yeah, honestly, like, it does piss me off because I don't know if I want to wait 3 months to meet you. Like, you know, I'm, but then you guys, an opportunity arose. If my parents ended up telling me that in like 2 weeks, they were going on this little trip to Vegas for an event slash to see family. And I was like, oh, can I third wheel? If you guys know, this time last year, you're not new to my channel, I was already going through it. And I was like, I think it would be nice to get out of the city, one. But literally, how we just had the whole thing, oh, we don't know how the day was gonna be. I was like, what if I just go on this trip with my parents? I let them do their own thing. And I was like, when I'm there, I just go hang out with Cross. I was like, this is literally perfect. It's a perfect plan. So I talked to my parents. They were cool with me going. Y'all know how older people are. Well, I did touch on the reason a little bit, and they were kind of just like, you want to come out here and meet a guy you've never met? Like, okay, girl. But anyway, so I talked to my parents. They said I could come, and I had talked to Cross, and I was like, this my parents are going to be there in 2 weeks. I was like, there's like a lot of stress and like, kind of like up in the airs about even having a first date. I was like, do you want to just meet me then? I was like, you don't have to spend your money or make this whole trip. I was like, why don't we just meet right now, like at this point, and see how it works? And he was like, okay, cool, like perfect, that's actually perfect, like yes, I'll like come pick you up, I'll take you around, whatever. And I'm like, cool. He's like, cool. Mind you guys, like I said, I was someone who, in like the year and a half being single, I barely even went on dates. So this is when I really started to get excited. I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually gonna go on a date for the first time in like almost a year, and like this is crazy. And like I was like really really getting excited. I was like, oh, like my life is boring, like let's go. Y'all, I'm telling this story in increments. Why? About a week after that, week 4, I have the strangest conversation with this man. Like I said, week 3 is when I really started getting excited. Oh, I'm about to meet this guy. Like, I'm actually really excited. Like, I'm getting my hopes up. I'm starting to lean into the love bombing a little bit. Like, oh my God, I'm going to see him and it's going to go great. And like, maybe I can do long distance, or this will work out. They always know how to ruin it. So about a week after, this perfect opportunity arises to meet and see if we even like each other for real and do all the things. Okay. Why do I have the strangest conversation ever with this man? So he's texting me. No. Okay. So yeah, we're texting and I'm just like, oh, like, do you want to call tonight? Cause like it was almost every night. It wasn't every night though. And he's acting like strange. Like, yes, but later, or like again, y'all, this guy was just so weird and timid. Like if he really ended up being my boyfriend, I would have ate him alive. Like he was like, I think the night before, sometimes as a girl, especially as long distance, when you're trying to get to know a guy that you can't like see physically, you need time, right? So almost every night we would like pretty much FaceTime, unless he was like, I'm gaming all night tonight. Or sometimes he'd be like, you could like, I'll game a little bit and then we could talk after, but you could like be on the phone with me. I would literally hate that. I would be like, I don't want to watch I don't want to watch this. I don't know you like that. Like, I'm here to actually talk and get to know you. But I remember the night before, he was all timid and he was like, my friends really want to game all night. Like, is it cool if we don't FaceTime tonight? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, cool. So the next day is when this conversation happened. He was like, I'm about to game right now, but like we could talk later. And I was just like, okay. Like it felt really weird. And then he switched up and was like, actually, we could just talk now. And I'm like, okay. Like he was just acting so strange, y'all. And it got even stranger when we hopped on FaceTime. So I get on FaceTime. He's acting super weird. And why all of a sudden he's just like, um, question, how do you think this is going? I'm like, I'm like, what? How do you think what is going? He's like, the talking stage, like us talking and like dating and stuff. And I'm just like, I think it's fine. Like, y'all, it was one thing I hate. Like I said, I really would have ate this man alive. I'm a very blunt person, a very like confrontational bitch. So I was like, when he was like asking and beating around the bush, I literally just got so mad. Again, like I feel like his timid personality really would have drove me off the edge if this worked out. I literally got so mad and I was just like, what are you trying to say? I was like, what do you think of it? Like I literally got mad and I just like yelled that. I was like, what are you trying to ask me? I was like, stop beating around the bush and say what you want to say. Y'all, why is he like, I don't think this is working out. Mind y'all, a week before our date, a week before this long away. Okay, so I'm shook. I'm like, this dude over here telling me he wants to go on a trip with me to take me to meet his granny. It's not a big deal. I could really drive to see you. I could fly out to see you, whatever. Like this dude just telling me all this stuff that I was like, wasn't believing at first because I thought it was BS, but now I'm leaning into it. I'm actually excited to see you and you want to drop this. So I'm just like, what? Why don't you think it's working out? Especially with the opportunity where it's like, we finally got an opportunity that's not a hassle for either of us where we can meet. I was like, what? Why do you feel this way? Y'all. Why was my dating life a joke? Why he gonna say, um, honestly, I don't like being on the phone like that. And like I don't like how often we're on the phone, and if it were up to me, I would want to be on the phone at night maybe twice a week. So you sought out a girl that you knew was out of state, which obviously out of state comes with not seeing each other very often. You said that. You said you didn't care. You said all that didn't matter to you. You just wanted me, blah, blah, blah. And now you're saying I don't like being on the phone, which is the only time, quality time we would have. And I would only want to talk to you twice a week. And on top of that, y'all, why was he like, sometimes I just feel a lot of pressure because I feel like I have to always talk to you instead of game with my friends. So y'all, I get pissed. I get so mad. And again, it's just like it's because of the fact that boys always want to do something funny when it's like you're at the brink of like, oh, I'm actually starting to like you. I'm actually getting excited. I'm like, once I actually get to that point where I'm like, oh, this is tangible. I'm excited to meet him. I'm excited to go on a date. Like, I'm actually looking forward to this. It's looking up. Y'all, I remember even when I was talking about coming out there, he was like, oh, like if our date, because I was gonna be out there for a weekend, he was like, if our date goes good on the Friday, like on Saturday want to come to my brother's game with me and my family? Um, no. I don't know you and I don't want to hang out with your family the second date. Like y'all, he was just so weird. So I'm like, I get pissed that I'm like, first of all, you weren't blunt and upfront about what you really want to say, which is that you wasn't feeling this. You was trying to beat around the bush and like, ooh, like y'all, I literally ate him up. Like I got so mad. I was like, I literally went down the line of what I just told you guys. I was like, what is the point of telling me all this stuff? Telling me you don't care, you just want me, you just, none of this bothers you. I'll come see you. I was like, what is the point of talking everything up to at the end say this? I was like, you said you didn't care that I was gonna say, you said that it didn't care at the time, you said you didn't, like you said none of this mattered, and then now all of a sudden it comes crashing down and it does bother you. And again, y'all, I'm a Scorpio. So I'm like, I'm angry crying, I'm cussing him out, and I'm yelling at him because like he does look what was that? You deserved all of this. So like his response again, very, very timid, like again, I use the word love bombing. Like I said y'all at the beginning to clarify for anyone who didn't know, he was like, what do you mean? What does love bombing mean? And I was like, what you just did? I ran down. I was like, you overpromised so much stuff to me for no reason. Even like I said, during these overpromises, when I would tell him, like, why are you saying stuff like that? I was like, you don't even know me yet. You've never met me yet. I was like, it's too fast to be acting like that. I would literally call him out and he'd be like, ah. I was like, I literally would call you out on these things and you would still over promise just to under compromise. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm pissed off, like, yeah. And so like, yeah, we just had this whole conversation and then he was trying to backtrack. He was like, no, it's okay, like I'll just FaceTime you every day. I was like, no, that. I was like, do not try to backtrack just because you see me crying and just because you see me upset. I was like, stand on what you said. I was literally like, nah, bro, stand on what you said. Don't settle. Like, don't settle for me just because you see I'm upset. I was like, if this isn't for you 100%, like, I appreciate the honesty, but I was like, fuck you because of how you did it. Literally, I was like, you don't have to say all that stuff before. And so yeah, I ate him up, I chewed him out, and he was just like, I literally told him, I was just like, this is so stupid for you to be at this big age. I'm like, you're not a freaking teenager, you're not fresh out of high school. I was like, how do you still, like, why do men like still love bomb? I'm like, it's so stupid. You don't have to talk all that. You can just be yourself and feel things out like a normal person and see how things play out. And I was basically, it was still like an hour conversation, y'all. Like, even though I was chewing them out, like I said, I don't know why the healed me just always wants to leave people a little bit enlightened or whatever. And I was just being real. I was just like, yeah, like, don't do this to the next girl. I was like, the next girl you talk to, I was like, be very real with yourself and about what you want so you don't hurt someone in this way again. I was like, you didn't have to say all that stuff. You chose to. And I was like, and now look at you, not what's the word? I said over compromising. You're under delivering. Like, I was like, don't do that. It's annoying. It's immature. Like, it shows that you're immature. And he was just taking it. Like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see that. Oh my God. One thing that sends me off the edge too, y'all, is when I'm upset. I hate when people, but especially boys, try to like joke me. Like, I remember even during this, he was still trying to like joke, and I was literally scaring him. I was literally like, stop saying stuff like that right now. Like, it's not funny. Then he'd be like, okay. I would have ate him alive, y'all. And so yeah, at the end, I was like, okay, Cross, I'm about to block you on everything because I don't want to hear it. I was like, do better next time. Goodbye. Right? So I 100% stood on business, y'all. Like, I was sad for that night. And then literally the next day, I was like, I was like, this is so stupid. I was like, this is literally so stupid. Like, I'm so glad I didn't end up with an idiot. Y'all, why I want to say about a month later, like I said, I blocked him on everything. I unsaved that number. Why did I get oh, that's another form of love bombing during this whole situation. Where, like I said, he had a clothing business. He was telling me how he was gonna send me a bunch of free stuff from his clothing business and, oh, could you model for me and stuff? I see how you model. Okay, he used to say stuff like that when we were talking. Why about a month after I'd never talked to him again, I actually blocked him on everything. I stood on business. I get a text from a random number talking about, hey Alicia, like, I need you to model this stuff for me. Like, I'll send everything to you for free. What's your address? So I'm looking at this. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, it's an unsaved number saying my name. I was like, so it has to be someone I know. And I was just like so confused. And y'all, that's when the light bulb clicks off when I look at the area code. Do you guys notice what I said? Hey Alicia, I need you to model for my new stuff. I need? He didn't ask me, y'all. He did not ask me to model. He told me, you you need something from me? Y'all, this was literally so comical. I'm screenshotting, I'm sending it to my sister, I'm sending it to my best friend. I was like, need is crazy. I'm like, first of all, why do you think we're cool? I chewed you out the whole time we FaceTime and cussed you out. Why do you think we're cool? I blocked you on everything. And then, like I said, I'm like, who are you talking to saying that you need a favor from me? You need a favor from me? From someone you love bombed? Like, no. Who do you think you are? So obviously, you guys, I just ignore it because what was that? And literally a month after that, y'all. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I delete that comment before this YouTube video comes up. Because y'all, why was he down bad in my YouTube comments? Not like commenting anything like that, but just commenting like laughing emojis or something. Basically just reminding me he was still watching me. 2 months later, after we never talked again. Like, y'all, why are they so weird? And yeah, guys, I don't even I don't even know how to end this. I feel like you guys are just gonna be so dumbfounded as I was. I'm just like, what happened to having the audacity? Like, I'm like, those last two things, like still keeping up with my YouTube and then telling me you need a favor from me. I'm just like, what's what's the audacity in the air? Because I'm really scared. So yeah, guys, that was a time I had an online out of state talking stage with a dumbass. I think a lot of us can relate to this story. Comment your little online out of state story time. I'd love to hear them. Comment what you think about my story. Cause what was that? What was that? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel because much more content to come. You can check out my story times playlist. You can check out anything on my channel. I've been going at this for a year, so I have a lot. Like I mentioned in the video before, guys, please, please, please check out my new Instagram, alishamelann with 2 N's. I will be very, very much active on that one. And yeah, I want everybody to go there for more content, and especially lots of lock content coming soon, because I'm really excited for this journey. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.